Now, one thing that I find about cooking chili is I want to take my yellow sweet onions and I want to put those in first. 1.5 or 2 small onions. So I've got a little bit of oil in our pan there.
Yeah.
I want to get all the sugars and all the taste out. A lot of people put their hamburger and their onions together. I want to take my onions and I want to get every bit of those juices and the sweetness and turn them until they almost get translucent and start to get a little brown. So I bleed those flavors out and it starts to caramelize. You get all those sugars out. Then you put the meat in. I want that taste of those sauteed onions. That's what I want more than anything. So we got our onions. Come back with our 1 pound of burger. Oh, I wish you could smell this. You can use venison. Now the great thing about cooking a pot of chili at deer camp or bear camp or wherever you may be on the lake, fishing or camping, is your beans are cooked, your tomatoes are canned. The longest time that you've got is browning your beef and your onions. Now the longer it cooks, obviously the better acquainted it becomes, as my grandpa used to say. But if you're starving to death, you can whip up a bowl pretty fast. And you can tell I don't have a whole lot of fat in there. But what fat I do have, I'm gonna leave in there for taste. Look where we're at. We're ready for some tomatoes. So when I'm making my chili, my deer camp chili, and I've won some contests with my chili. In fact, everybody that has stolen my recipe has won some contests with that.
You made me some chili one time. I used your recipe. I won.
You did win.
I did one at my work. That's right.
But shh, it's top secret except for everybody watching tonight. So one thing I want to do, once I get my meat and my onions going, I want to come back with about 3 cups of diced tomatoes. I used to put tomato sauce, but now I'll put in tomato juice. And I'll even use some stuff that you can buy in the store because it's got sodium in it. Now look what we've got here. Now I'm gonna do my seasoning. I've got some salt in there too. Now when it comes to my mix, I didn't measure this specifically, but when it comes to my mix, it generally ends up being about a 1/2 cup. In no particular order, the basics are, of course, chili powder, onion powder, paprika, cumin. Those are some very common things, as well as cayenne pepper. Now what I like to do is I like to make a mix that I can carry with me. If we're on the road somewhere and we have a 10 or 12 inch cast iron dish, we can set it up on a grill, we can set it up on the ground, cook anywhere you want to go. You can have a bag of charcoal and go to town.
I like it pre-mixed.
In a very short amount of time. Here's what we did. Here's a shot of us cooking for that live group on top of a bourbon barrel. It works.
That's right.
Now I've gone light on the cayenne here. She likes hers a little less zingy than I do. Now that right there, if you had your spices mixed just right, that may qualify for a Texas chili right there. Then, when I get all that going, I'm gonna come back with roughly 14, 16 ounces. I like chili beans. I like kidney beans in my chili. Also, you can put some black beans in there. I like black beans. You like black beans.
I love black beans.
What can you put in chili and what can you not put in chili?
Anything you want, right?
Anything you want. There's a puffball sitting there. Kelly found that puffball on her farm. I'm probably gonna put some mushrooms in here. Is it against the law?
That sounds good.
I'm gonna show you what you wanna look for in your puffball. This is a giant puffball. You want this mushroom to be absolutely solid white on the inside. If it's not, a lot of times when they start to turn yellow and brown, cadaver beetles will get in there and start eating, which is really nasty. But that is in really good shape.
We've had that in a week in the fridge.
This is a week. Now here's what happens when you find one and you want to keep it. You know you got a recipe coming up you're going to use it in. Put it in a refrigerator. Peter Ninneman told me this. He said, farmer, put them in a paper bag.
Exactly, yes.
So put your mushrooms in a paper bag. You know you're going to use them. If you find some chicken in the woods, make sure you get them when they're nice and tender. If you wait till they're all woody, they're not any good to eat. What should your chili taste like? Like you want it to taste. There are no laws about what you put in things, but there are so many opportunities to make things taste good, and it depends on what you like. If you don't like this, just don't put it in. Something else I put in my chili is just a tad of coriander. And like I said, a little bit of cinnamon, a little bit of sugar. And there was something missing for years from the pool hall chili that I was trying to recreate. There was a yeasty flavor I just couldn't place. One night, somebody had a beer open. It's probably Nikki, and I poured some of that beer in there, and that was the magic ingredient. to the pool hall chili. Now let's let that simmer a while. So at this point, we got our chili. We're not in Texas, obviously there's beans there. At this point, can you put cheese on it? Can you put sour cream
That's
on
what I
it?
like.
You can put whatever you want. How do you like yours,
I
Miss
like
Farmer?
sour cream, a
Big old daub of it.
and then a little bit of cheese. How about you?
You know what? I like that too. Now, this is what I would consider mild chili for you. It does have some cayenne in it.
Thank you. I like it a little milder.
And again, I put just a little bit of coriander in it. And if you want to, you can get you some smoked paprika. That'll really change the profile of that. It's up to you. There are no rules unless you're in a contest way down south.
Yeah, it's the perfect chili.
But to me, that's what I like. Now, when I was a kid, I would take crackers. I would take saltine crackers and I would crunch them up by the hundreds. And you talk about a meal. And Mom made some mean chilies, I remember. See if it suits you. Get that smoky flavor in there too, don't you?
Over the fire makes it. There's something about cooking it over the fire. Gives it oh, that's good. Good job.
Believe it or not, our half hour is almost up. And as we make our way through this world, we talk to a lot of folks
Yes, we
on
do.
Facebook, YouTube, all over the world. And the one thing that I would like to keep in mind for us and everyone else, if we can, let's be kind to each other.
Right.
That's one thing that we could all do in this world and
Yeah.
work on it every day is to be kind to each other. There's enough strife in the world. We don't need to be fighting about food.
That's right.
If you like mushrooms on your ham sandwich,
Put them on.
or if you like squirrel brains in your eggs, it's all good.
Yum.
You do you, we'll do us, and let's be happy for each other. That being said, if they did want to step up on our Facebook page, I know it's entirely terribly difficult. How would they do that?
You hit like.
That's correct. If you like our recipes and you want to check out our recipes, where would you go, Mrs. Farmer?
I go to timfarmerscountrykitchen.com.
Subscribe, hit that little red button. That way, if you like what you're seeing, you'll be informed when the next new show comes out, which will
right.
be very soon. That being said, I think we should probably eat some chili, Miss Farmer.
I like that idea.
Because it's all about
good times
good friends.
and really good eats.
We'll see you next week on Tim Farmer's Country Kitchen.
Yum.